Well, the coronavirus is sweeping through the news stations. Everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, there's another story, another case of somebody that's been infected. And that couldn't be more true in the case of cruise ships and cruise lines. And so today, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about what is the likelihood that you're gonna get coronavirus on your next cruise. What's going on, everybody? Josh Holcomb back again today to share with you a little bit of information, like I said, about coronavirus on board your cruise ship. Is it safe? Is it safe to continue cruising? Listen, if you are brand new here and you like cruise tips, cruise news, cruise reviews, and cruise vlogs, make sure you go down right below this video, click that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, so you don't miss out on any of the fun. Let's get into the video. So when we talk about coronavirus, I think everybody, you know, the hair on the back of their neck kind of stands up a little bit, especially if you have an upcoming cruise. You get a kind of a little turning pit in your stomach, not an easy feeling. I know for me, when I first think of coronavirus on board a cruise ship, my immediate thought goes to those passengers on the Diamond Princess over there in Yokohama that are being quarantined into their room. They're not allowed to leave. They have room service delivered. When they do get to leave their room, it's only for like, you know, a half hour, an hour, and they get to go up to the top deck and kind of get some fresh air. But even then, they have to wear medical masks and protective suits and all this kind of crazy stuff. So, bit hectic situation over there. And of course, you have the Westerdam that was denied entry into 4 ports, 4 different times. The ship tried to make entry into a port, and they said, nope, you're not coming in here. It looks like you guys have got some sick passengers on board potentially, so we are blocking you from entering this port. That's just super scary stuff. And then even more recently, here in the US, we had a nice little scare with the Anthem of the Seas in New Jersey, where they thought that 4 people might have contracted the coronavirus. Turns out they were all fine, except for one of them. One of them had influenza A and was taken to a hospital for treatment, and they'll be okay. So it kind of sparks the concern, you know, oh my gosh, the coronavirus is still on the move, we haven't contained it yet. What is the likelihood that it's gonna be on my Caribbean cruise? And I think before we break into that, it's important to let you know some statistics. So recently a study was done, and it is an estimated 23% of all persons on board a cruise ship at any given time are sick with something. Now that could be something as simple as a common cold, as even simpler as just some allergies. They just, you know, their allergies are flared up, they've got a cough, a runny nose, that kind of thing. And then it goes on up into norovirus or influenza A, as we just experienced here, or influenza B, as we just experienced here on the Anthem of the Seas. And then I think the top tier, what's on everybody's mind right now, would be coronavirus. What if somebody has coronavirus on board my cruise ship? It's important to know that despite all the coronavirus talk, all the coronavirus discussion and scares, it is not the biggest threat to cruise ships outside of China right now. The biggest threat to cruise ships still remains norovirus. If you say the word on board a cruise ship, I think any crew members, the hair on their arms might start to stand up, and they might get a little jittery and stuff, because it is a big deal, and it's a very real threat on board any cruise ship, and that's just because of the amount of people that you have in a confined space, all touching different, you know, stuff. Like biggest contributor here is the buffet line. You have spatulas and spoons and utensils and trays that everybody kind of shares and interacts with. And so all it takes is one person to have, you know, some norovirus on their hands, and then when they touch different stuff, they're contaminated everything else. So that is still today the #1 concern for any crew member on board a cruise ship. Not to lessen the impact of coronavirus though, definitely still causing a big scare. Now, you know, I just mentioned that Anthem of the Seas false alarm, and the reason I think that we're gonna see more of those as the weeks go on, we're gonna see more false alarms, because we are right in the middle of flu season, and so this coronavirus is kind of getting a little Trojan horse. It's able to kind of hide a little better because we're in the midst of flu season, and coronavirus and influenza share the same sort of initial symptoms. You know, a fever, you know, maybe a runny nose, potentially a sore throat, an achy stomach, achy body. they share the same kind of symptoms, and so I think it's going to be easy to kind of misjudge one for influenza and one for coronavirus. Still, both terrible viruses nonetheless, but I think right now on the world stage, coronavirus is making a huge sound, a huge threat, and everybody has got it on the top of their minds. Another interesting fact about cruise ships and their medical facilities, actually, one medical professional, whether it be a nurse or a doctor, must be on duty 24/7. At all times of the day, there is at least one medical professional on board every cruise ship with 250 passengers or more that is on duty. They are ready to answer your call and answer your cry for help. However, they're not specialists. They are not trained to kind of deal with coronavirus and everything, and so that's why that they are inviting and encouraging the help of outside sources and outside help to come on board these ships and kind of help take control of, especially the ones that have been infected, because they are not trained or prepared to handle an outbreak such as coronavirus. It's quite scary for all of them. So now I think it's important that we break down into the meat of today's topic. What can you do? What can you do to help yourself? What can you do to prevent it? Well, first off, if you are sick, if you find yourself coming down with something right before your cruise vacation, do not cruise. Stay home. Do not go. This is why it's important to get travel protection. If you are sick and you step on board a cruise ship, you are just further spreading the problem. You are not helping in any way, shape, or form. I know it's your vacation. I know that you saved up for it, but it is so important. If you are sick, do not travel. Secondly, make sure you wash those hands. A lot of the cruise ships have done a great job of putting hand washing stations right in front of the buffet, or if not hand washing stations, they'll at least have some hand sanitizer, some pumps that you're able to kind of get and help sanitize your hands. It's important though, hand sanitizing does not replace hand washing. Make sure you do wash those hands at least 20 seconds under warm water. Additionally, what I would recommend, get yourself some hand sanitizer wipes. Now these right here, I have these for my apartment. They're a nice jumbo size, but you can get some in a travel pack. They do sell them in travel packs. Take those on board your ship, and in your cabin, in your stateroom, go ahead and wipe down anything that you touch on a regular basis. That door handle, that light switch, the thermostat, maybe even the balcony door, and if you want, you can even do the countertops right there. You know, you're gonna be setting your stuff, your room key down on those countertops, but just wipe things down that you're gonna touch and interact with on a frequent basis, and I think that's just gonna kind of put one more barrier in between you and the possibility of you getting sick. Additionally, you know, same thing that you would do here on land, don't share utensils, don't share glasses, share straws, things like that. If your fork falls on the ground, do not, I think it goes without saying, but do not pick it back up and use it again. I've actually seen this on board a cruise ship. I about puked, I'm not gonna lie. It was gross. Don't do it. And I think with just a couple steps like that, you can definitely minimize your risk of getting coronavirus on board a cruise ship. So to wrap it out, you know, what are my thoughts? Do I feel like it's unsafe at this point to take a Caribbean cruise? No, I do not. I think that if you're sailing anywhere out of the US, if you're going to the Mexican Riviera, Alaska, the Caribbean, Bahamas, Bermuda, you should be fine, I would think. Even Europe. I think European cruises at this point, not really gonna be too impacted. If you, you know, China is completely out. You can't even get to China pretty much right now. So China cruises, yeah, you're in very serious high risk of contracting something. But at this point, Caribbean cruises, not too much to worry, but still always good practice to, you know, take into those steps that we just talked about there. But this is where I want to open up the discussion point. So drop me down in the comments below. What do you guys think? Do you have anything to add? Do you feel that Caribbean cruises are still safe right now? Are you thinking about canceling your Caribbean cruise? I'd love to hear your talking points down in the comments section. That is gonna do it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in today. My name is Josh. It's been real, it's been fun. It's been real fun, and we'll see you real soon on the high seas.